Hello everyone, Beast here, back with another video. This time I'll be talking and showing you guys the gameplay of the new RTS game called Warparty. Warparty is a mix of, I would say, Warcraft 3, Age of Mythology, Age of Empires kind of thing. It's pretty cool. I played it a lot on my stream. I enjoyed it quite a bit, so I wanted to make a little guide slash tutorial for you guys to just kind of show you what the game is all about, and if you decide to buy it, so you know how to basically start off. So one thing that I really love about this game is it has wiki inside a game where you can see all your stats, all your buildings you can produce, units and so on, tech trees, so it's a lot easier to kind of understand everything going on. So first things first, there are two factions, or races, however you want to call it. There are Wildlanders and Necromancy. These are the Wildlanders right here. So Wildlanders have a specific trait for them: reduces the cost of your villagers by 25%, increases their building speed by 25%. So this is a very macro-oriented race. It allows you to build up your economy really quickly and kind of overwhelm your opponent with your economy. Now, you see here there's 3 tiers, and in each tier you have certain amount of specific buildings, units, and upgrades as well. If you want to reach the next tier, all you need to do is upgrade your settlement. Now, when you enter the game, you are on tier 1, so you get to pick one of these abilities. So you get to pick Big Game Hunting, which is all units deal 50% extra damage versus wild dinos, barracks are 10% cheaper, or Mystic Healing, all units receive +2 regen, medics are 25% cheaper. So every time you upgrade your settlement, you can pick between these two options, and then you upgrade it again, and you pick between these two, and they stay with you for the rest of the game. So for example, if you would take Mystic Healing, your medics are cheaper, so maybe you want to go for some kind of medic focused unit composition because you're getting the value out of them. Now, if you're playing some kind of rush, perhaps, you would go for this because units deal extra damage versus wild dinos, so you can clear them up quickly, and barracks are 10% cheaper to build, or if you're going for some kind of strategy where you mass your units. So here you have all the list of your buildings. You can see how they look like, how much health they have, how much they cost to build, line of sight, armor, and so on and so on. It tells you in the top right what it does. So it allows you to train medics, emits a healing aura for 5 health per second, which is pretty cool. The one thing I really like is that the watchtowers, or settlements and towers, are limited, so you can't, mass 50 towers in the game, which I think is a pretty cool thing to kind of avoid camping. Now here you can see units. So you have your villager, you have Mika. Mika is the hero of Wildlanders. You have the warrior, which is your very basic melee unit, and then you have your medics. Here you have some upgrades. So Wildlanders have upgrades for their infantry units, for their ranged units. You can upgrade your armor, and then you can also upgrade your beasts, because this race is very much focused on dinosaurs and beasts in general. So if you see, tier 1 is very basic, and then here already the game starts to heat up, and you have your archers, you have your fire warriors, poison archer, which are upgraded archers, just like fire warriors or upgraded warriors. And you start to get your dinos. Look at that, so pretty. There's some more beasts, more dinos, and as you can see, like I said, they're very focused on the animals, which I find to be pretty cool. In tier 3 later on, you have some food and crystal gathering boosts by 15%. But what are food and crystals? Well, in this specific game, you have only 2 resources. Well, 3 resources, excuse me. So you have the food resource, which is used to make your units, make your early game buildings as well. And then you have your crystals, which is kind of like Vespene gas from StarCraft 2, where you use it for more tech-heavy units, you use it for upgrades, and basically you want to be focusing most of your workers on food. I would say your split between food and crystals should be about 70-30%. But early game, you want to focus on your food and just kind of get your economy going as much as you can. The third resource, kind of, I guess, is the... Let me find it here. Is the power. So what is power? Both races have 5 spells within the game. The way to generate power for these spells, so they don't cost food, they don't cost crystals, you don't need to upgrade, you just have them. Gone Totem generates one power point every 7 seconds. You can build 6 of them maximum. But there are also kind of shrines or temples, I'm not sure what you want. I guess it's a shrine in the game where in order to capture the shrine and start getting this power, you need to eliminate the dinos around it, and then you capture the shrine with a unit and you slowly get the power points, and then you can cast your abilities, which are very, very powerful. So some of the abilities you have are like an AoE spell. You can summon creatures, you can give your own units boost, whether it's damage or movement speed. So they're very, very important, especially in the big battles where you can cast a good big AoE spell. Okay, so that's it for the Wildlanders. Let's take a look at Necromoz, which is the second playable race, really quickly. So they have Necromancy, which is zombie spawns near Char when one of his units kills an enemy. Char is the hero of Necromoz, right here. So this passive is very, very good in fights, obviously. If you manage to start winning the fight, you kind of snowball. The units that you get are the zombies. Zombies are not very strong. They have only 40 health and 7 damage. If you compare it to the Bone Adept that has 110 health and 12 damage, they're about 1/3 of the Bone Adept in stats. Now, the tier 1 abilities for Necromoz are, or not abilities, traits, I guess. Unholy Allegiance, units train 10% faster, receive a free zombie every 30 seconds near Char. So this is an ability that's very good for rushing, very good for massing units, just being aggressive, because you do get those super, super early zombies to go with your hero. Or maybe you can go like super greedy and not go for units early game, because you will have those zombies kind of helping out a little bit. The second one is Power Hungry, which passively gains you power points, and all units receive +1 regeneration. So this is more of a mid to late game kind of trait, and again, whichever one you pick kind of should dictate your playstyle and what your overall game plan is. So in the tier 2 we see Overpower, all units receive +5 armor penetration and deal 25% more damage to buildings. So you can do kind of hit and run strategies where you go in, you snipe a building and with your units and run away. And Master of Death, which increases the max amount of zombies to 15, and zombies receive +1 regeneration. The third one for Necromoz is Golems are 25% cheaper. They're a tier 3 unit, and zombies receive +50 health. Or Bloodthirst, all military units gain +1 movement, +2 damage. The reason why I'm reading all the traits for Necromoz is you can see that you can go for very specific styles. So you can go for example, Unholy Allegiance, which will spawn you zombies, plus you get zombies when you kill stuff. Then you can get Master of Death, which increases the maximum amount of zombies to 15, because the maximum amount you can have is 10. And then you can go for Gone Teachings, which zombies receive +50 health. And just like Wildlanders have the upgrade to give damage to the beasts, when you play Necromoz, you have upgrades +1 armor to zombies and +1 damage to all zombies. So you can have a very zombie focused kind of strategy and kind of go with it. Other than that, they also have +1 damage to infantry units, range units. That's kind of normal. Later on, you have increased gathering speed of workers, just like Wildlanders do. In tier 3, you have Witch Doctor Hut, which looks pretty cool. You have Crystal Mine. Now, Crystal Mine is something I didn't mention. Crystal Mine is, if you guys played Age of Empires, which I'm sure most of you did, you had those, you built those markets in the corner, and then you send markets to your settlement, and it gives you gold. Except here, it gives you crystals. So in the late game, when you run out of resources, you can build crystal mines and get crystals that way. Because for food, once you mine out those little bushes, I'm not sure what they're called, you can build farms. So for crystals, you go for crystal mines. Now for the units, we have the Blowgunner, which is a tier 2 unit, upgraded Bone Adept, Toxic Blowgunner, which is the upgraded Blowgunner, Frost Elemental, which is a melee kind of tier 2 strong unit. You have the Fire Elemental, which is basically the ranged version of it, and then Crystal Burdened, which is the guy that goes to your settlement and gives you free crystals. Now in the tier 3, you can build Golem Forge, which builds golems. Golems are the tier 3 units of Necromoz, and then also Witch Doctor, which deals splash damage, but they're very, very weak, so you want to try and protect them. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is the neutrals. So, and just to show you guys how they look like in game, so when you see the gameplay after I'm done talking, you kind of know what's going on. So Crystal Node, this is where you get your crystals. In these green ones, there's 500 crystals, and like it says, it's used for buildings and more advanced research and units. Crystal Node is teal or cyan color, has 2,000 crystals in it, so you won't see 5 of these on one spot, you'll usually see 1. And then in the corners of the map, you have the Crystal Node, the purple one, that has 3,500, but they're usually protected by T-Rex dinos, so you can't really get it super early. Just one thing to mention, you don't mine resources faster from these, they just have more resources in them, so you can mine longer. Berry Bush, which is where you get your food from. You can also get your food from killing dinos in the early game. So, like it says here, food or berry bushes, you can gather food from them with workers, and it gathers a lot faster than farms, but they're limited. So what that basically means is you don't want to build farms right on start, even though it's more convenient. You want to try and mine out all the crystal nodes and all the berry bushes, or as many as you can, before switching to kind of like more passive income, which would be the crystal mines and farms, if that makes sense. Then the last one is the shrine that I was talking to you guys about earlier. So there are usually 2 to 3 shrines on each map, and they're protected by 4 dinosaurs around them. When you kill the dinosaurs, you put a unit in the middle and you capture the shrine. You can see because it turns into the color of whatever your whatever color you picked in pregame, and then you get 1 power per second. Now as far as the units, you have Velociraptors, which are as you can see, nasty wild dinosaurs that attack at the slightest provocation. So they will be aggressive, they will attack you, so you want to avoid them as much as you can. I'm not going to even try to pronounce that. These are the weak dinos. I think these are actually the weakest in-game. Then we have Triceratops, which is what usually protects the shrines in the middle and just kind of are scattered around the map. And then at the end you have T-Rex that protects those purple crystal nodes. Now, these dinos, like I said, are scattered around the map. You don't need to kill all of them. If they're blocking your expansion or are on your way, you can kill them. But one of the things that I love doing in multiplayer games when I play Necromancy, I would get my Char in Unholy Allegiance, and then I would clear dinos, and by killing dinos, I would get more zombies, and kind of allows me to snowball and have a little bit of a bigger army. That's it for the kind of basic explanation how Warparty works. Next thing I'm going to do is show you guys a gameplay video. So without further ado, let's jump into that, and I hope you guys enjoy the game as much as I did. Have fun. Besides other Blizzard Age of Empires games, what is another RTS you would recommend? I think Northgard is really good. Same guy. Are you kidding me? I'm gonna run to his base. Is there a stream sniping me? He's probably gonna do the same thing. Wait, what? Wait, is their settlement cheaper? How does he have 2 settlements already? I want to distract them, like, just to finish my settlement. Oh, that's good enough. Whoa, 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 whoa. Shit, my chart died, I didn't even see. Oh my god, look at that. Juicy, juicy! Ooh. Wait, what? Oh my god, I built the wrong buildings. He's getting wrecked by 3 towers and 2 settlements. You can make those reptiles, only his race can, mine can't. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to like and subscribe, and make sure to check out one of my previous videos. As always, I want to thank you guys for watching, have a very nice day, and I'll see you guys next time.